One of my favorite activities on Twitter is trolling my friends and followers with Denver's beautiful weather. As they shovel out of massive amounts of endless snow, slip on black ice, and shiver in humid cold, I continue to enjoy cups of coffee and yummy burritos from my favorite patios across the city during winter. Now, I do want to make it clear I'm terrified of the obvious changes to Colorado's weather as global warming's impact continues to be felt, but even before global warming, Coloradans knew that our weather was really misunderstood and that most people had no idea what they were talking about. We're not always shoveling out of snow. I'm going to spill the beans, and for the locals listening to this episode who are freaking out about this, don't worry, no one will believe me. How do I know? From experience. When I first purchased my home, I was so excited about it. I also discovered that there were so many aspects to home ownership that I didn't know about: how often I would have to do home maintenance, how tiring yard work would be, and the moments when I thought that maybe I should have purchased a property outside of an HOA. There was another home ownership experience that I was fascinated by, which was the refinance process. As a first time homeowner, I didn't completely understand the process and why it was a useful financial tool that so many homeowners embraced. Fortunately, there's a resource to help educate homeowners going through the refinance process. Refily is a lender comparison tool that helps homeowners find lenders to help them refinance their mortgage. Refily helps homeowners see and compare different lenders and estimated fees and rates before saying yes to their future home loan. What I really love about Refily's comparison tool is the following: transparency, ease of use, and accessibility. If you're looking to refinance your home loan, Refily is the tool I recommend to help you with the lender comparison process, and I am proud to partner with Refily to share the comparison tool. I grew up in Colorado, and when it was time for college, like most kids, I decided to go as far away as I possibly could. I needed a change. So I found myself in upstate New York freezing my ass off. I'd never experienced the biting sting of lake effect snow. I got frostbite on one of my ears after being outside for 10 minutes, and I learned pretty quickly that everyone thought that I was used to this kind of weather because I was from Colorado. I was completely baffled by this, as were the other four freshmen who had come to the same school with me from my high school. So there were five of us from my high school who graduated together, and we ended up at the school. The weather and lack of sunshine was so bad that every week when I spoke with my mom, I would tell her that I was depressed. By the time I graduated, three out of the five of us had transferred back to schools in Colorado or other warmer states because we were in weather hell. Here's the thing: Denver's winters are fairly mild. Yeah, we'll typically get 2 to 4 good snowstorms in a good year, especially when I was younger, but that's started happening with decreasing frequency. And what I mean is like a 3 footer. I miss those days. I miss 3 feet of snow. The last time we had a really good winter storm in Denver, I'll never forget this because we all got trapped at home, but we were planning for it, so it was okay. And people in my neighborhood, adults, by the way, these people were adults, built igloos. They walked to the liquor store, and you would just see all these people getting liquor and like like having snowball fights and making igloos. Basically, I shared this to say that we have fun when it snows because it's just not that big a deal and we need the water. In fact, when the storms do hit, they're glorious. There's nothing like a beautiful winter storm making its way through Denver and the surrounding towns, and you'll often hear people say, "We need the moisture." Then, once the storm ends, within about a week, the bulk of the snow has melted and is gone, and the wait until the next storm arrives begins again. Hopefully, sooner rather than later. I finally figured out why so many people outside of Denver have the wrong ideas about the weather and where the city is located in relation to the mountains. Weathercasters love to freak out when it snows in Colorado as if it's like this shocking thing. We're known for skiing and send the most Winter Olympians to the Winter Olympics than any other state. Have you heard of Steamboat Springs? Whenever the weather is reported, there's this weirdly tight shot that all these weathercasters seem to do. It's a tight shot of Denver that is seen in other states that gives the idea that Denver is somehow literally at the base of the mountains when it's not. There's also very little humidity here. We don't get that humid cold that just makes your bones just so cold. Unfortunately, we also don't get a lot of rain anymore. In fact, there was a point during the summer of 2021 when I taken a nap and I woke up and I was like, what is that strange sound outside the house? Like, what's going on? It was rain, but it hadn't rained in so long that I literally couldn't figure it out as I was waking up. So, yes, I spilled the tea on our fabulous weather. Over 300 days of sunshine. We don't really get that much snow. It's not really that cold and doesn't really rain that much. But real talk, no one's going to believe me, especially if they're convinced that I'm wrong and they're right. Even though I grew up here and, well, they didn't. I will continue to troll people from patios all year long. Coloradans, what say you?